Yesterday, Louisiana's Attorney General was indicted on 16 felony charges. Today, July 3rd, as of 3:33 p.m., the Louisiana Supreme Court stepped in and paused the entire criminal case. I took notes. Let's talk about it. If you watched my last video, then you already know most of the backstory. But if you didn't, here is the quick version. So earlier this year, Louisiana lawmakers passed Act 15, which is a law that merged Orleans Parish Criminal Clerk of Court and the Civil Clerk of Court offices into one office. The Louisiana legislature writes the laws, the governor signs, agrees, or vetoes, disagrees those laws. Governor Jeff Landry signed Act 15 into law. That law then eliminated the office that Calvin Duncan had just been elected to hold. Calvin Duncan's story is remarkable, right? He spent 28 years in prison for a murder that he always maintained he did not commit. Instead of giving up, he educated himself while incarcerated and became what many people call a jailhouse lawyer. A jailhouse lawyer is someone in prison who learns the law and helps other incarcerated people understand their legal rights and gain access to courts, even though they are not a licensed attorney. Incarcerated at Angola, Duncan helped hundreds of incarcerated people challenge their convictions and access the courts. He was eventually exonerated, which means that the court officially determined that he should not have been convicted. After his release, he earned his bachelor's degree from Tulane University, Go School, and then later earned his Juris Doctorate or his law degree from Lewis and Clark Law School. Louisiana voters elected him as Orleans Parish Criminal Clerk of Court. But again, because of Act 15, he was not able to take office on May 4th because Act 15 eliminated his office. Calvin Duncan and the ACLU, which stands for the American Civil Liberties Union, a nonprofit organization that often challenges government actions in court, sued Jeff Landry over the law. In a 4-3 decision, the Louisiana Supreme Court upheld Act 15, allowing the merger of the clerk's offices to move forward. Buried in a footnote, the majority wrote that Orleans officials had not broken the law that the Attorney General had warned them about and could not be used as a basis for any criminal case. Keep that footnote in mind because that's going to become a big deal later. After that decision, instead of accepting the merger, Orleans officials appointed retired Judge Calvin Johnson as an interim clerk and called for a special election. Attorney General Liz Morrell believed that they did not have the legal authority to do that. She sent letters to New Orleans Mayor Helena Moreno, Orleans Parish District Attorney Jason Williams, 5 New Orleans City Council members, and Judge Calvin Johnson. In those letters, she warned them about Louisiana usurper's law. The usurper law generally applies when someone unlawfully claims or exercises the power of a public office that they are not legally entitled to hold. According to those letters, Morrell demanded that the officials rescind their resolutions, which means officially cancel them, retract their support, which means that they publicly take back their support for Judge Calvin Johnson serving as interim clerk, and stop recognizing what she believed was an unlawful office. She warned that if they refused, they could face consequences under Louisiana's usurper's law, including removal from office and possible imprisonment. Those letters became the center of a criminal investigation, and the Orleans Parish Grand Jury, which is a group of citizens that decide whether there's enough evidence for criminal charges to move forward, began investigating Attorney General Morrell. This is considered unusual because reports say that the grand jury initiated the investigation themselves. So a prosecutor did not present them with this. These group of citizens did this on their own, which is important for all citizens to understand.